Also, my next guest is quite simply the most energetic man in show business. You'll know if you've seen him live, he works harder than Wayne Rooney's spell checker. He works harder than Dappy's underpants. He works harder than Tom Jones' Viagra. It is Mr. Lee Evans. Oh, I see. I see you've gone for the Gaga thing. Yeah, that's a nice look. I don't know if you've ever seen Lee on stage. He is like a 100-mile-an-hour ball of energy, and you should see the sweat he works up. He talks about it in his book, actually. Here's his book, which is out now. And the amount of sweat that he produces, it's incredible. I mean, oh, you see? Lee Evans is on the show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a bit wet now. That's a great show right now. Can we get my first guest out? This looks fantastic. The meat dress was one of my favourites.
Oh, thank you.
It was shocking, it was memorable. It's in a museum in New York right now, is that right?
It's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
OK, it was in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
It is there now.
No, it's not, because we asked them, we got special permission to bring it over so we could have it on the show.
No.
Yeah, we have it in the green room right there.
No, you have a fake one.
No, it's there, you can see. There it is.
That is not my meat dress.
That is your... That's your meat dress.
No, it's not. I made it myself. That is not it.
Jamie!
Get away from it! I can't walk.
OK, Lady Gaga is phenomenal. You are a phenomenal success. You've sold, I don't know whether I've got the figures right, somewhere in the region, it's over 70, maybe 80 million singles?
Yes.
30 million out.
And I write music. And recently I went surfing.
You went surfing?
Yes.
Were you any good? Did you stay up on the board?
I did. I stayed up on the board, although it was very difficult for me because I couldn't wear heels, and we all know how I feel about that.
Couldn't you have some sort of stuck onto the surfboard and just slip into them?
Well, obviously you've never been surfing before because
Not in heels, no. Let's talk about sexing. Am I right in thinking you like the ladies and the gentlemen?
Yes.
OK. And are you... hold on a second. What, Jamie? No, Jamie!
Yeah, that's really just awful what you're doing back
Jamie,
there.
that was a rare dress. You shouldn't be doing that.
It's a beautiful thing. Salt, pepper, rosemary, a little bit of garlic.
You better save some for me. I'm hungry.
You've got some, don't you worry.
Do you like beef?
I do. Is that his way of asking me out? Is he making me dinner?
Yeah. Would you like to try some? Gaga, it's cooked perfectly.
That's actually very old, that meat.
No, this is beautiful. This is well hung. This is, No, it's 21 day.
You can't serve a lady up her own dress as an appetizer.
No, look.
I know where that meat has been and you don't, so...
Yes, I do.
You eat it. Give some give some to Lee, see if he likes it.
Have a little try. That's called growler. Here we go.
When they... We didn't agree with him, Gaga. He's loving it. So here's one thing that I was excited about. I like the fact that people... Now, Lee Evans was keen to make a spectacular entrance on the show. A couple of weeks ago, we had Hugh Jackman fired out of a cannon. Last week, Ewan McGregor jumped over the other guests, and we said, Lee, there's no really need. You don't have to do this. He said, no, I insist. I want to do something big. I want to bungee jump onto your show tonight. So with that in mind, Lee, how are you feeling up there?
Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
You
I've
good?
got cauliflower tabs. I'm fine. Absolutely great.
You ready to go?
Yeah.
OK, will you count him down for me, ladies and gentlemen? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Whoa, hold on. OK, Lee. How's that? OK. You all right? OK, whoa.
Get me down, man.
Should we get you down? I don't think...
Yeah, Jonathan, what you...
You OK?
Yeah. Put it...
Oh, I've got you. OK. We need to get you stable and get you unhooked.
Put us on the seat. Put us on the seat.
I don't know if I can get you...
Put us on the seat, Jonathan.
There's not many places for me to get a good grip on you.
I've got it. Right. Get something. Oh, my Jesus.
He's down. We'll take a break. I'll get Lee out the harness. Wow. Well, are you OK? Are you all right? Because It wasn't quite as smooth as we'd intended it to be.
I'm getting hay fever. How do you sit on the edge of... How do you sit on the edge of this desk? How do you sit on the edge of your desk there, John? I'm getting hay fever here.
I've got a chair. I don't need you.
Yeah, look, that's the Wurzels are back on tour again.
If you've ever seen Lee live, you know this is the energy you get there. You're about halfway through your tour, is that right?
Yeah.
How are you holding up? Because I know you throw yourself into it, and I know that it must take its toll on you. Your knees and your feet and your back and everything. Does that go?
Yeah, my knees start to go after a while, but then I walk on stage and I'm all right, everything's fine. You know, no, everything's really good. No, I feel all right, I'm really good. Don't I look good? What's the matter with me?
No, you look fine. I just know I've seen you live, and it's a remarkable thing. And the amount of energy you put in, I just think, how does he keep going? Because, you know, none of us are getting any... Over the counter, yeah.
Over the counter in boots, yeah.
The tour, I just found this out. I just found out the tour, this is, they're filming it as they always do on big tours, for DVD. This is correct, I believe. This is the first time a comedy tour has been filmed in 3D.
In 3D we did it?
In 3D, that's quite
in 3D,
something.
I'm going to be in your lounge.
So I don't know whether I want you jumping out your TV into my lounge like that, because you're...
Well, I say 3D, I mean, it's the flat next door 3D.
OK.
You know, I'm in 3C. You're in 3D.
Lee Evans' book is The Life of Lee.
Covered in glue.
This is Lee's book is out right now, and it's Lee's story, and it's a great story. It's a great story. This only goes up to the age of 18, though. Presumably you're going to carry on after that.
Yeah, of course I am, yeah. I hope so. Depends on how this one goes, actually. Yeah,
there's loads I didn't know about you in that. I mean, I knew that you had a sporty background. I didn't know you were a boxer for a while. You weren't a bad boxer, were you?
No, I was really good. I always came, like, second.
OK.
Third if there was a ref.
But your dad wasn't a boxer, because he was in showbiz,
he was a boxer in the army when we were younger.
When he was a kid.
Yeah. And then when I was born and all that, we were living in a doctor's surgery, is where we were. That was our living room. And, you know, people come in with flu and colds and all that sort of stuff, because my dad was working over the docks at the time, and then he got into show business a bit later, you know, in the sort of late 60s,
late
70s.
60s, 70s, and he was a singer, and he played instruments.
He's amazing.
So did you go to tour with him?
We toured all the time. That's what we did. I mean, that's kind of roughly what the book is about, touring around, like, the working men's clubs, Manchester, Newcastle, Sheffield, Birmingham and Liverpool.
And that must have been pretty different to you now touring and doing the O2.
Well, you've got to be on your guard. I mean, my mum, she's a very witty woman, my mum, and I remember sat in a club, this really rough club with my mum all night. I mean, Dad used to do this impression of John Lennon, you know, and he was singing this song, I imagine there's no heaven, all this, and there's a bloke saying, he shouted out, he went, that's not like John Lennon. And my mum went, hey, stop, shut your mouth, like that. And this bloke went, who do you think you are? She went, Yoko Ono, now piss off, you know. She's a really witty woman, you know.
Well, she was looking out for your dad as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, when we was kids, we had nothing. It was on this sort of council estate. We had nothing. Like, on rent day, we had to hide from the rent man. So when the rent man knocked on the window, like, you know, like, my brother was like he was like a coffee table. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was a lamp, do you know what I mean? My dad suddenly got down on the... He was like the carpet. You know, I mean, that was what we did on sort of rent day, you know, to hide from the rent man.
But your dad, this is what I like about the book, he comes across as a real character. I mean, some of the stories about him, they're like...
Oh, he's fantastic. He's such a great bloke.
They're all true stories, I guess?
All true stories. I mean, like, because in those days, the clubs were so rough, you know, and there was a particular place up in Liverpool, I'm not sure if it was called the Shakespeare Club, but I remember one night, this bloke had won the pools, and he bought this really crap suit. It was like a yellow tartan suit, and he sat in the table with all his mates. He thought he'd treat all his mates, you know, but he kept heckling me dad. And in those days, you had like a three-piece backing group. It was like piano, bass and drums, but the bass player on this particular night was huge. I mean, he was like this kind of fella, you know. And this bloke wouldn't stop heckling me dad. And then right at the end of me dad's act, he thought, right, I'm going to have a go at this bloke. I'm going anyway. So he said, and the bloke went, make me laugh. And my dad said, well, let's borrow your suit, you know. So this bloke really set this bloke off. And we're all sat in the dressing room. There's me, me mum and me brother all sort of sat there. I'm only like, you know, about 5, 6, sort of sat there. But in the corner is this small, mousy woman. Just sat there all like this, like really sort of quiet, mousy woman like this. So we're all in the dressing room waiting for Dad. I can hear all this commotion. This bloke's going nuts. And me Dad comes in the dressing room, right? Right, he comes in and he slams the door and he goes, I think there's going to be trouble here. I think there's going to be trouble. And we all went, oh, no, you know. And there was a knock on the door. Like that, and my dad went, it's that bloke, it's the bloke from the audience, right? So he said, when that door opens, I'm going to lamp him one. Yeah. Right? So the door opened, and he went like that, and the bloke went straight past him, walked over to the small mousy woman, sat in the corner, and went, you're a slag. You're a slag and a slut, and you're an ugly whore. Like that, right? And he walked over to me dad, and he went, right, I've had a go at your wife. What do you reckon about that? And my dad went, well, it's not my wife. Right? And then this big bass player arrived at the door and he went, well, whose wife is he? He went, his. Fantastic. So there's all sorts of stories like that in the book when we were kids, going around the clubs and all that sort of stuff.
So how did you stumble into comedy then? Because it wasn't a...
I stumbled into it. I was, you know, in our family, there's always been musicians in our family. My dad always plays loads of instruments, like, you know, he plays clarinet and sax and piano and drums and all this. And you just pick it up, you know. I spent loads of time as a kid hanging around musicians and stuff like that. So I knew I could play a bit of piano and guitar. And my main trick was to, when I played the guitar, I did know how to do this, slip the strap up to my neck and do this, and it would go round here. You know, that was my main kind of...
So you knew you'd get a laugh with that?
Yeah, I knew I'd get a laugh with that. But I wanted to be a serious musician, but every time I tried to do it, everything just went wrong, but it just started to get laughs, and so I did my big neck routine, and that was really, really well. Are you all right? Is everybody all right? Are you with us? Great.
Do you still do the neck routine? You don't still do that, Evan, yeah?
What? The neck routine?
Yeah, you don't still do that?
No. No, I don't even do that now, no.
So it must seem strange, though, to be playing these big venues now after that kind of...
Weird? That's weird, isn't it? It's coming at me. It's like I'm travelling through loads of ice.
You feel like Doctor Who?
I do.
You'd make a very good Doctor Who.
There's Jamie, look, and he's lovely.
You love to get a laugh, don't you?
Oh yeah, I like to enjoy it. Yeah, it's really good fun.
So you do stop some when you're doing a lot of people. They're doing gigs, and obviously they're committed and they're going to do the best job they can. You actually still love being on stage, don't you? You love being in front of a crowd.
Well, it's kind of where I find a safe place, because in the real world, I'm not really much cop.
You're not very comfortable, are you, in like social situations and things like that?
No, I mean, I've been to, you know, weddings and stuff like that. I'm sort of say the wrong thing.
I was in a car with Lee once. I'd been doing a photo shoot, and it was we were sharing a car in the town. It was me and Jack D and Lee Evans, and you were really nervy in the car, and you couldn't stand being in the car with us. And I don't think it was just because it was us. I think you got nervous, and you and you got out early before you said, "I'm going to get out here. I'm going to get out here." Yeah. And then you got there, and then you started kind of almost performing in the street for people.
Yeah, I know.
It was the weirdest thing I've seen in my life.
Yeah. I didn't think there was any need for you to put a pie out and start collecting money, though. That was out of
well, we did quite well have you that day.
Yeah, some bloke went, "I love your monkey."
But so you feel comfortable doing that. So this is something where you feel, okay, I know that our relationship, this is the level it's on. You're laughing, I'm being funny, and I can relax. Yeah,
no, I really enjoy it. I do enjoy it. I mean, I don't enjoy the beforehand and the after. I don't like the nerves. I get very nervous.
Do you get nervous still?
Yeah, man, I'm like pacing up and down before a gig.
You must know you can do it by now.
No, it comes from the old days, just dying on my arse every night.
Did you die? You didn't die that often,
did you? Yeah, man, every day.
Did you?
Yeah. You know, I don't know how I got away with it. I mean, I was doing really crap gigs, like 4 people in the audience dying on my arse. I was beat up, shat at, spat at, chucked out, my car stolen. You know, just for a laugh, to steal his car.
That must be a bad gig if they decide to steal your car.
They tried to steal my car, right? It was over. I can't remember. I'm not sure if it was over in South Wales, but it was an old Chevette I paid 20 quid for, and they tried to steal it, and they're all pushing it away, but it's the steering lock's on, so they came back.
This was the audience or just people in the street?
People in the audience. They're so crap, they're stealing his car, and they went, "Hooray! Oh." They came back with my car.
We're gonna have to wrap up the interview in a minute because we've got a great performance coming up,
and
you're going to see.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
But before you know, one of the things I love about the book is how lovely the way it is you write about your wife and about Heather. Yeah. The love she gives you, the support she gives you. You write about it. You rarely see someone talk about their partners in that kind of way, and it really is. It's very touching. Were you comfortable about sharing that part of yourself?
I can't stand the woman. I can't wait until... I wish she'd just leave. No, of course, I love her very much, you know. She doesn't understand me because she's Chinese. No, she is my... Without my wife, I'm not me, basically. Yeah. No, I don't mean it like that. I mean, really, I'm not me without my wife. But look at me, I'm an idiot. Look. And she is my cock, my rock. She's my rock.
How old were you when you got married?
18. We've been married now for 28 years. You know, and it's just unbelievable. Yeah. You see all the blokes going behind me, believe me.
When you're setting the bar high for the rest of us, we're going to have to go and say, "I love you so much." Yeah. Yeah.
No, I think she's absolutely fantastic.
Lee is a charming man, a very funny man. The book's very funny. If you get the chance to see Lee live, you really should grab it. Yeah, Mr. Lee Evans, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
That was great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. I love you very much.
Sit down, relax, sit down, relax. We're going to see the big show. Thanks to all my guests, of course. Jamie Oliver, Lee Evans is still out here, and coming out in a minute, we've got the fabulous Lady Gaga. Join me on the programme next week if you can. My guest will be David Walliams, star of Superbad and Knocked Up, Seth Rogen, and Michael Bublé will be here. Plus, well, there's a Bublé fan right there. Plus, we have music from Coldplay. But now, performing You and I, it is the fabulous Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. There we go. Pretty good. Oh. Hello. Hello. Oh, it's Christmas. You okay?
Merry Christmas.
Gaga's communing with my breast.
And you have a teeny tiny erection.
The Jonathan